The best bit about selling with Lisa was how communicative she was, because I know for every house that we've ever sold, you wonder after every showing whether that showing had an impact or how it was impacting, and Lisa communicated every time. I knew she was always at every showing, which is maybe not sustainable, but that's what she did, and it meant a lot for us.
Lisa is hugely responsive, which I think when you're making these kinds of decisions is hugely important to the people that are listing a property. And the fact that she would answer the phone any time of day or night was extraordinary. I always imagined we were going to get in a recording or an assistant or something other than her on the phone, responding almost immediately every time we called.
And the interesting part was we weren't her only client at the time, but at the same time she made us feel like we were the only client at the time.
We did discover after the fact she had been in fact enormously busy during that time, and never once did she say, I've got to rush away and we can't do this now. She always acted as if she had enough time for you.
I think that Lisa created confidence for me. Her experience was obviously long, and she'd done lots of work for people I knew, so I heard a lot of references that gave me a lot of confidence in her.
When we bought this house, we called Lisa. Vicky had seen it come up, I think, and called Lisa and asked for her opinion. She said yes, we should look at it. We asked her if she could set it up for the next day, which she did, called back and confirmed. And then we decided that was too far away, and so we called her back and said, can you set it up for tonight? Can you meet us there, in 2 hours? And she called us back and said that we could, and it was all set up just that quickly.
Houses were going so quickly that it was extremely stressful, and nobody, I don't think, could have done the negotiation Lisa did that night. I mean, we saw the house at 7, we owned it by 10 with competing offers.
I think it was all about credibility. A lot of real estate agents make their pitch and offer you a higher price than might be realistic. And I think that Lisa was very careful to give us a price that was supportable by the data and that she'd given a lot of thought to.
And experience. I mean, she really seemed to know what our ceiling would be. Also, we interviewed 3 realtors, and she was without a doubt the person that listened the most carefully and seemed to address my concerns. It was a very stressful piece for me, and she was the only person who seemed to address that piece. Going through this process for me was extremely stressful. We were downsizing, we were leaving the family home where we'd lived for a long time. It was the middle of COVID. There was stuff to do. We wanted to list as soon as we could because there was very little on the market at that moment, so she impressed upon us that time was of the essence. We went with it, and when I couldn't find painters, she would find painters. When I couldn't find an electrician, she would find an electrician. When my gardener couldn't show up, her gardener showed up. I mean, she just made it flow. And for somebody who was really probably emotional at the time, Lisa never got flustered, which made me so much more relaxed than I would have otherwise been. I would definitely recommend Lisa. I felt that, as James has alluded to, she really knew her stuff. She was great at negotiating. I felt that she didn't leave anything on the table.
If I had to sum up Lisa in 3 words, they would be professional, knowledgeable, and responsive.
If I had to sum up Lisa, I would say professional has to be one of the first words. Experienced, and I think she has integrity, and I think she has compassion for the whole process.